Hi Leo, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing a bonus reading for you guys. You had the highest viewership last week, so I wanted to say thank you so much for that. I appreciate everybody who has liked, followed, and hyped my videos. I am going to start by letting you know that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Leo out there, so take what resonates for you and just leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating, Leo, get in where you fit in, but as always, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Leo? Leo. All right, Leo, you are starting out with the Five of Cups. You have the Five of Swords. Seven of Swords is coming out along with the Eight of Wands in the reverse. All right, so you're going through it, Leo. I can understand why you are consulting tarot. I know in the past when I've had, issues like this, I've grabbed my tarot cards. So it does look like, you're going through a very sad time. I do see that. There's a sense here that you feel as if love is just not for you. That every time you try to engage in a relationship, it winds up in conflict. I do see that you have been in conflict with someone, and it was likely about deceptive behavior for some reason. I don't feel like it was you that was deceptive. I feel like it was the other person, and I feel like you now don't trust that person. And a lot of you are not talking to that person. Some of you have even blocked them. I do feel like there was definitely some conflict, though, and whoever you're dealing with here, not only are they deceptive, but there's this sense that they don't fight fair. This person could have even blocked you or withdrawn communication from you in an attempt to manipulate you in some manner. But it's definitely a difficult time for you right now. I do feel like a lot of you are reviewing the past, looking at what happened here. Let me see who is in your energy. Show me who is in Leo's energy. All right, so we have the Three of Wands. We have the King of Swords. You could be dealing with a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Libra is very strong. You could also be dealing with a Taurus. What I am seeing here is that the person who is in your energy, they're waiting for something. This person, I do feel like this person has been working on themselves because they are coming out here with the Empress. Now, this could be also how they're viewing you as the Empress. I do feel like this is somebody who's waiting. It feels like they're waiting for something financial. They could also be waiting to hear from you. They may have ground their heels in and they're not going to move forward. I do feel like this is somebody who wants to talk to you, though. And the good thing that I do see about their energy, because I can see you don't trust this person, but they are coming forward here being rather honest. Not very emotional, but definitely more honest than what they may have been in the past. With the Empress here, this is somebody who is working on their finances. I feel like they're waiting for their ships to come in. They could also be viewing you in this Empress energy. In a sense, it's almost like they feel like all good things flow from Leo. This would be, if that is the case, this is somebody who may have received messages from Spirit with regard to this situation. So let me see the energy between Leo and this person. The Fool. Yeah, that's a new beginning. Yeah, that's a new beginning. This person's waiting for this new beginning, but it's not even on your radar, Leo. I feel like you feel that this is done and over, like it's hopeless. But between the two of you, there's a new beginning, a need, if I can say so, a need to take a risk here. And I think a lot of you guys don't want to take that risk because you have found in the past this person hasn't been upfront or honest. Show me what is affecting this connection. Nine of Swords in the reverse. A need to, remove the anxiety, remove the feeling like, You know, when is the other shoe going to drop? I also feel like because this is such an anxiety-producing situation for both of you, that you're both kind of avoiding a little bit. You don't want the anxiety of the conflict that this person has brought in your life in the past. And this person that's in your energy, they want to talk to you, but I feel like they also don't want to have more problems. So there is a sense of avoidance. I will also say that this person is kind of avoiding spirit a little bit as well. There's wisdom that's trying to reach this person from spirit, and this person's avoiding that. Be careful, Leo, that, and this isn't for everybody, but for some of you, you could be a bit in your ego and ignoring, you know, advice from spirit as well. Let me see the outcome at the end of the week. The Nine of Wands. Yeah, feeling tired, feeling wore out. You're tired of dealing with somebody who is deceptive. And I feel like there is a lack of communication that's going on between you and this person. So you're not sure where this person's energy is. They're not sure where your energy is. And I do see you kind of cycling through a very destructive, almost, how do I word it? Like a self-destructive loop here. So be careful with that. With the Nine of Wands, there is this opportunity, or there could be an opportunity to work things out. You're both tired of the anxiety. You're both tired of the problems that are here. But I feel like if you can work this out, a lot of growth would happen here. So bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups in the reverse. That's underlying energy. And it does indicate that there has been an ending here in a love relationship. However, there's a new beginning that wants to come in. But I don't see either of you budging is the thing. And it could be for very good reasons. I'm not criticizing you on your choices. I'm just saying that there is love here. There is love that wants to come through. But, you know, neither party is actually moving towards it for whatever reason. You could be dealing with a Pisces here as well. So let's clarify. Spirit, why is the Five of Cups here? Why is the Five of Cups here for Leo? Page of Wands reversed and the Ten of Swords reversed. Yeah, you're not open to anything right now as far as new love in particular. You're not going to take that risk. I see that you are still healing. You felt very betrayed by this person. This breakup has been extremely painful for you. And I do feel like you are healing from this. And that's why you're not really open to anybody new in your energy. And I also feel like you kind of feel like this person behaves like a spoiled brat. You know, like when they don't get their way, they have tantrums. They, you know, they act immaturely. And I feel like you're not currently talking to this person, like I said, but it's because you are trying to heal. Why is the Five of Swords here? The Devil and the Death card in reverse. You feel like this person is toxic. And, you know, from your perspective, it does look that way. Now, some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio or a Capricorn, but I do feel like there was I don't know if it was the whole connection or it was the conflict, but I do know that it was toxicity that led to a lot of conflict in this connection. That being said, you are still somewhat emotionally attached. You still think about this person a lot. However, I also feel that for some of you, you could be a little, and look, don't shoot the messenger. If it doesn't apply to you, then you'll know it. But some of you could be a little bit in your ego right now after everything that's happened. So just examine that, because I do see that there is somebody, a group of you out there that could be kind of leaning into the ego, and that could be, you know, keeping you in an unhealed state. And if it's not for you, then let it go to whoever it is. I do see you're still emotionally attached to this person. I feel like you don't think that everything's completely over here, you know, with this person, even though I do see the physical ending and a lack of communication. So just make sure that you're not delving into any toxic behavior yourself. You definitely feel like this person has been toxic. Let me see. And so that makes sense why there's been some avoidance here. Let me see the bottom energy. Show me the bottom energy for Leo. All right, so we have the Hangman in reverse. We have the Seven of Cups reversed. And we have the Strength card in reverse. Yeah. So you fear that even if you did connect with this person, that they would just still be deceptive. And you're tired of dealing with that. You're tired of deception in your life, period. So I feel like, you know, I feel like you would work on this. I feel like you would work things out with this person, but not if they come at you with the same behavior that they've had in the past. I do feel like you gave unconditional love in this relationship, at least from your perspective. And I feel like now you're beginning to see this person very differently. This gap in the communication, this time apart, and, you know, physical time apart has caused you to really look at this person differently. A lot of you guys are going through a spiritual ascension that you could be kind of fighting. You might be fearing that. And what would be preventing you from you know, moving into higher spiritual connection is the depression or sadness, is the, you know, the ego and not being able to hear the messages from spirit. So if that is you, you know, just see what you can do to do some self-examination. If it's not you, then let it go to whoever it belongs to. I do feel like, you know, you just don't want to deal with toxicity, and I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. And I can see that you feel like you have no choice at this point but to view this connection and view this person, you know, differently. There is, however, a need for you to work on yourself and make sure that you are not, you know, deceiving yourself in any way. All right, so let me see their energy. Why is the Three of Wands here? Page of Cups. And Temperance in the reverse. All right, so this person is unbalanced emotionally. There could be, they could be playing the field a little bit as well. I do feel like they feel that they owe you an apology for something, but they're waiting. They're waiting to give you that apology, and they are definitely resisting, you know, spiritual messages in some manner. So they know that in order for there to be a new beginning between you and them, that they would have to give you an equal give and take, that they would have to apologize for not doing so in the past. And right now, this person is unhealed. So why is the King of Swords here? Sagittarian energy is here. Why is the King of Swords here for the person in Leo's energy? Oh yeah, this person treated you disrespectfully. Four of Cups in the reverse and the Sun in reverse. Well, they're not very happy right now. I feel like they're not really delving into their feelings and emotions. They know they owe you an apology. This is somebody who I feel like when you were giving to them, expressing how you felt towards them, you were giving that cup of love and they were not recognizing it. They now feel like this has become a missed opportunity. And for a lot of you, it has, because you're viewing this person and this connection very differently. So there is avoidance that's going on, even though they do want to talk to you. They know that they're going to have to, you know, come correct. And I feel like they're unhappy right now. They don't know if you would even be open to a connection with them anymore. This is what they want to talk to you about. They're very unhappy right now. Yeah, they're very unhappy. They keep looking back at the past. You both do. You both keep looking back at the past. Now, this person, for some of you, introduced another person into this scenario as well. And I do feel like they may have some regrets for that. Why is the Empress here? Could be dealing with another Leo, possibly. They want to say that it's your fault, that you're ignoring them. They want to say, you know, I want to talk to Leo, but Leo's ignoring me. All right, King of Swords in the reverse and the Two of Swords. Yeah, this person has to make a decision here about whether or not they're going to acknowledge your value, your worth, that cup that you were so generous in giving to them, because I see that you gave unconditional love to this person. And I'm seeing here that this person, you know, they want to talk to you. So now they have to make this decision. Do they approach you or do they not? Are they going to come towards you honestly or not? Because you're not taking anything that's not honest. If this person doesn't approach you correctly, you'll block them. I can see it. So they're indecisive. They know that you've elevated your energy here, and now they have to make a decision. This is somebody who I feel like has kept some secrets as well. They don't like people knowing about them. They don't like their business being, you know, out. Let me see the energy between Leo and this person. The Wheel of Fortune. King of Cups in the reverse. Exactly what I said. This is somebody who's not expressing their emotions. They know they do have emotions. Let me tell you that first off. So if you're questioning that, I'm going to tell you they do. But that being said, they're not going to express those emotions. They're holding them back. They know that they have to come in and provide an apology or extend themselves to you. They want to do it, but at the same time, they know if they don't come correct, you're going to shut them down. Now, in your energy, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So all this healing that you're doing here, all the introspection that you're going through, looking at yourself, trying to heal self, it's actually turning things in a positive manner for you. You're doing, according to this, you're doing the right thing. And you have a new beginning, whether it is on your own or whether it is with this person. Whatever you're doing here that's healing your energy, I do feel like that is turning that Wheel of Fortune in your favor. So don't stop what you're doing, because it looks like you're on the right track. Why is the Nine of Swords? You could be dealing with a Pisces, strong Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. Why is the Nine of Swords in reverse? All right, we have the Six of Coins reversed. We have the Star card in reverse. Yeah, you feel that even if this person comes towards you, they're not going to give an equal give and take. You feel this person is selfish, that they're toxic. You still love them. You still have feelings and emotions for them. You don't feel like things are completely over, but I feel like you're healing your energy. So you may be at the crossroads right now, Leo, of deciding whether or not you're ever going to give this person another chance. I will tell you that this person is definitely emotionally unhealed. This is somebody who is feeling like, you know, you healing your energy, you seeing this person as, you know, being toxic, as somebody they can't trust. It's making them feel like this is going to be a missed opportunity. And part of the reason is, Leo, is that because they're unhealed, because they're resisting an ascension of their own, because they're resisting doing, you know, the right thing, coming correct, this person feels that it's going to be a missed opportunity. Yeah. So you're both kind of avoiding. You don't want to think about this person. You don't want to, you know, engage with them because you feel like nothing's going to change. This person in your energy is avoiding as well because they feel you withdrawn. They feel you moving away from them. But to your credit, you know, I feel like you're working on yourself. And this person, although I do have to say, I still think there's more work that needs to be done. This person is more into blame mode. And they feel correct in doing so. For some reason, this person feels like justified in, you know, saying, well, it's Leo's fault. So at some point, though, you got to understand, you know, regardless of whose fault it is, you know, and talking to the crosswatcher, regardless of whose fault it is, you have to decide, is the relationship more valuable than your pride? So, Yeah, definitely unhealed energy here. You're definitely on track when you are feeling that this person's not coming correct. They know what they need to do. I just don't feel like at this point they're quite ready to do that. Let me see the outcome. Show me the outcome between Leo and this person at the end of the week. All right, we have the Five of Wands. We have the Page of Pentacles. And we have the Five of Pentacles reversed. All right, so I do feel like you're both very conflicted. I feel like if there is communication, and there might be, Page of Pentacles can sometimes be somebody texting or sending some sort of written communication, email perhaps, but this person's trying to decide, should they reach out to you? Believe it or not, they have you on a pedestal. They do want to talk to you. They're trying to decide, should they reach out, should they not? If they do, and for some of you they may, it's going to be something very small, like a text. I do feel like it's going to cause conflict, though. Maybe not so much between the two of you, although for some it will, but internal conflict for sure. We know that this person is very conflicted about whether or not they should reach out. I do think for a lot of you, they are going to break down and do that. However, that being said, this is somebody who is also trying to decide, should they just cut this off entirely and move forward with someone else? And I feel like this is somebody who is very angry right now. They're angry and they're blaming you. But I feel like you felt that because of the dishonesty in this connection that you had to make a stand here. Now, for you, when this person reaches out, you're questioning, does this person want to reconcile? Does this person want to work on things? You know, are they just going to be deceptive again? Because now you see them differently. It's like you've taken off the rose-colored glasses. Again, I feel like you would reconcile with this person if they approach you correctly. If they don't, I feel like you will not. So, bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords in the reverse again. So that tells me that what's preventing this new beginning to come in here is that you're both avoiding one another for different reasons. So I'm going to pull an oracle card for you, Leo. It looks like a tough situation to be in, so definitely prayers to all of you. Pulling for Leo. Pulling for Leo. All right, Leo, we have Give to the Mind. It's number 23. And I do want you to notice that you've got a lot of fives in your draw. And so I do feel like you're going through a lot of changes. But it's talking about the mind, which is inspiration, moods, and cycles. It says give to the mind, and it gives back. So give me a second, and I'll read that for you. Hold on just one moment. All right, your affirmation says, I take care of my mind and it takes care of me. The scientist, mental clarity, brain power, and peace. If we want to brighten the mind, then we must feed it light. The mind is a delicate and ironically powerful center. It is fragile in the sense that it wants its owner to be gentle and kind to its needs. Only then can it be awakened and healthy force. To be strong, the mind must be nourished in ways that best suit it. Not every mind has the same mental appetite. It must be treated with reciprocity and respect. We cannot expect so much from it when we are not giving it something of equal value in return. The Mind card is about mental health, creative stimulation, inspiration, and thoughtfulness. The artist must create, the scientist must experiment, the monk must meditate, and the shaman must chant. The explorer must explore. We all have pieces of these archetypes within us. There's a cycle of inspiration. We must nurture them, or the artist will get depressed. The scientist may go stark raving mad. The monk may lose their peace, the shaman's connection with spirit weakened, and so on. Without the proper nutrients, they cannot flow or grow. Pulling the Mind card can also be a positive omen that a bright, creative, and intelligent time is coming. That you've been putting all of this into practice and your mind is sparkling and brimming with mental growth, new ideas, and clarity. This can be a time of stimulating momentum and strokes of brilliance in your life. Take advantage of it and continue to treat your mind with the utmost respect and love. All right, so that tells me, and I feel like a lot of you guys are, but that tells me that the reciprocity that you're expecting from this person, you also need to be giving to yourself. So nourishing yourself, working on self, being clear about where you need to work on you and where you're not giving to yourself. And then make sure that you're providing that reciprocity to self as well. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you. If you have resonated with this reading, Leo, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype it if you have the opportunity. And until I see you guys in your next reading, know that you are loved, and namaste.